Hello everyone and welcome to Swordarian. Today I want to share with you two swords that I received recently. Two very different swords, since this one is from Southeast Asia. It's a Moro Kris. And this one is sort of a rapier from the beginning of the 18th century. Very beautiful work on the pommel. The blade is in rough condition, especially the tip, which, well, is a little bit bent, as you can see. I hope I will be able to solve this. I really hope so. And that I don't break it in the process. I would be very, very mad with myself if I ended up doing that. And this one is also in a rough condition in terms of rust. And that's exactly what we'll be doing here today. I will not be removing all this black rust, but I'm not sure if you can see, some of the rust isn't exactly black. There is a little bit of red rust in here, and red rust is our enemy when it comes to swords. So I want to get rid of it, and I want to protect these swords a little bit longer until I'm able to actually do what I want to do with them. And I don't think I will obviously not polish this one, because that would be a crime, and because this is a very old sword and doesn't have much metal to begin with. I really don't want to remove any more. So I will try to take care of this tip, remove all the rust that is alive, and, well, ensure it's a proper sword, that it works as a sword. And that's it. It will be very likely remain with this black rust cover because it protects it from any further rusting. This one, I'm not yet sure what I'll be doing with it. I think I will be removing most of this black rust. Obviously I will not mirror polish this one, especially because they were never originally polished, this sort of blade. But I think it would look better without these smudges here that obviously were from fingers. So. But for now, we'll just ensure that they don't rust anymore. And to do that, we will be using aluminium paper and mineral oil. So the principle here is that aluminium is not as hard as steel, but it is slightly harder than the red rust. So what will happen when I scrub the blade with aluminium? I will remove the red rust, the black rust will remain, and the steel will remain, and hopefully, or well, according to my experience, it will not scratch the blade in any way. Okay, so I'm gonna prepare this and we'll start. So we'll be beginning with the Moro Kris. I will take a little bit of aluminium. I could do this without oiling it, but I will oil it a little bit, just because I want to, mostly. And I will start slowly but steadily working on the blade. The objective is to just remove all the no-seed rust from it. Well, this is gonna take some time. You obviously cannot see this, but just by going my finger around, I can feel that there's not all of that rust dust around as it was before. It's much more uniform. Almost as if it were polished, but as you can see, it obviously isn't. It still looks rather disgusting. But we'll take care of it on another video. For now, we're just ensuring the blade survives until I have time to take care of it. And this side is done. If I were a smart person, I wouldn't be doing this with my bare hands, given that most of this is sharp. I was never a sensible guy, so I'll continue my job. I find that these Kris blades have tremendous personality. Before I ever saw a sword of these, I used to see the knives. They are much thinner and much smaller. They go something like this, and they go very, very thin. Those are beautiful as well, but the swords have a different character to them. They are quite heavy. They're slightly machete heavy, which makes them very interesting to wield. That's pretty much it. Make sure I haven't missed any part here. I could try to go under the silvery things, but I don't think it's needed. I've seen below them and it's not that bad in terms of rust, because there's a considerable amount of black rust, and this has been protecting the blade from any further rusting. So for this one, let's say we're done. I'm not sure if you can actually see any difference. Very likely you can't, but now it's really just black rust here. There isn't any red rust at all, which is exactly what we want. This side is very, very rusty, but black rusty. So this one is done. Let's go to the rapier. So here we have the rapier. Completely different blade profile, I'd say. But we'll be doing exactly the same thing. Let's begin by clamping this beast down to ensure it doesn't fall and ruin something with close to 300 years of age. I would be happy if I didn't destroy it. Clamp it on this side as well. And we're getting to work. This one is even more rough and out than the previous one, which is understandable given the age it has. I'm not very sure of how old the previous sword is, the Kris. I'd say 19th century, but it could be 20th century. This one is beginning of the 18th century, as far as I know. A very large amount of the rapiers, and well, maybe some people wouldn't call this a rapier. Well, the small swords that you find from this era, and a great number of them have a broken tip. Well, you don't see a broken tip, but you see that the sword has been shortened. For example, someone made a new tip here because this part broke. I don't want to create one more of those swords, so I will be very careful with this thing. Well, for now, I'll say this side is done. Not sure if you can tell the difference from one side to the other. I'm gonna put it close to here, but I can see a difference. Considerably less rust on this side than on this one. So now we're taking care of this one. I think if we were to look at this blade from a close-up, it would quite resemble the surface of the moon, because I can feel that this is completely filled with little craters of past rust. This one has been done as well. Next step on this is remove all of these little pieces of aluminium that remain here and oil it with a soft cloth. But I do feel very tempted to try and fix this. I think I'm gonna do it. Yep, I'm gonna do it right now. You're gonna be here with me, and if I fail miserably, you can make fun of me. Isn't that great, huh? So for this job, I'm gonna need pliers. I like to do it with my bare hands, but that only works when the bend is somewhere in the middle of the blade. Because in this case, where the bend is here, I truly don't have the strength to just do this with my fingers. I would wish I did, but I don't. So we're gonna clamp it again. Let's focus here on the place where disaster might happen. Put paper on the pliers so they don't scratch the blade. This could also be done with scotch tape or something of the sort. Now I'll be very careful. Yeah. I will need to tape this because I need more precision. I've returned and now I've taped this to ensure I don't scratch the tip. And I'll be trying this again. Can't do anything else. It's straight. As straight as I can make it. So here we have it. Straighter than it was. Is it perfect? No, but it's overall it's as straight as the rest of the blade. Sure you can see anything at all. We'll change to the closer camera. Now you can see. I'd say this is straight enough. So let's examine the final state of this. This is what we have. You'll be seeing more of this sword in the following video, where I will bring it to life. The same applies to this rapier, which some of you will not call a rapier, but I will. So yeah. Let's call it a small rapier. So both of them are now stable. Both of them should not be rusting anymore. So now they can wait for me to have time to do with them what I want to do. And that's all for today. I will leave you with this strange looking person and see you in the next video.